If I'm talking to a new amputee, I always ask them, what did you name your leg? Because my leg is Larry. My children named him Larry. Personify it. Live life with him. He's your best friend. But if you don't have it on, your best friend's not there, you know? And it also gives something funny to other people to listen to, you know? It's like, oh man, Larry hurts today. They're like, Larry? So I grew up in Arizona. I was born and bred there, and went to high school there. So I started seeing a lot of my, my buddies go to jail and just not doing. I could see their life's not going anywhere. So I joined the Marine Corps. You know, I signed up at 17, and then 4 days after we graduated high school in June, I took off, and shit, I was still smoking at the time, smoking cigarettes, you know, and I still run and did all my stuff. My PFT was great, but anyways, it was fun. I used to explain it like it was, a drug. You know, you really, certain people, you'd love it, but then when you're running and doing your quals, you're like, oh man, this sucks. Are you getting your ass chewed out? So with us, with our CAT team, we flew into Afghanistan, we flew to Asadabad, and then from there we broke up. From there it was, wow, this place kind of looks like Arizona. So I was a rear heavy machine gunner, rear security. So I was always mounted. Thank God too, because I'm like, I don't gotta walk. The Marine Corps was, that was when I had my first near-death experience. So September 29th, 2005, we left our FOB, Camp Blessing. We're going to Asadabad in a convoy mission. And that was like our IED alley area, was the top of this ridgeway, top of the side of the mountain. And so actually when we got word that there was possibly 3 IEDs in that roadway, we halted because of the threat of them, and so we called Army EOD out, and we must have been waiting there probably, I would say, like 6 to 8 hours or 7 to 9 hours, about that time. Well, Army EOD was clearing out those IEDs. Our driver, my buddy Sergeant Simpson, he turned off our warlock system, and I was up there, I noticed it, and I didn't even think twice about it, and I don't think he did either. And during that time, a couple hours later passed, Army EOD, they said, yeah, you're clear to go. We found 2 of them, couldn't find a 3rd one. And while we were packing up, Simpson was in, and he forgot to get out, turn the warlock back on. I forgot to tell him to turn the warlock on, and then we went up the side of the hill. While they were going down the hill, we kind of plateaued at the top of it, and that's when we found the 3rd IED. It just, I looked down, and then as soon as I started looking up, it was like slow motion. The explosion hit. I saw dirt go up, it rose a little bit, and then went down, and then it just, I was just flying in the air out of the top of the turret, and that's when I landed. A head hit, compressed the lower, my spine. So broke my lower back, and then at the time it was multiple fractures in the left leg. So I landed outside the truck while everybody inside the truck was knocked out. And then I was out of the truck and just sitting there in the middle of the road, and and I wasn't knocked out. Like as soon as I wasn't thinking about anything. There wasn't anything going on in there. My dad says it's probably my soul leaving my body, and then my body catching up to my soul while we hit the ground. So that he was like, that's probably why you weren't thinking of anything during that moment. I'm holding my leg, my pants nothing was ripped, it was just bloody from the knee joint down. And I look at it, I'm like, oh shit, it's gone. And so what happened from there, they get me back to the truck, and they drag me back. One of the Army EOD personnel, she was holding my leg while I was smoking cigarettes, and waiting for the mountainside to get cleared. Well, not to mention I was getting pumped full of morphine too at that time, and so it was one right after the other. Hey man, give me, every time I get a cigarette, hey, pump me full of that morphine, I feel it. You know? So that, yeah, so we, when we got taken down to the bottom, they put me on the bird and they're like, all right, well, we gotta give you an IV. I was like, no man, you don't give me an IV, I'm gonna pass out. But yeah, no, I took it like a champ, took the IV, and so I still had my leg. It was just, at the time, it was a severe tib-fib fracture, and so you put your hand through one side and wiggle your fingers and see the other, and so we fixed that, stabilized that in Bethesda at the National Naval Medical Center, and then I did home awaiting orders in Arizona, and that was crazy, trying to deal with all that and get through life doing that, and I guess remake friends, because you left all your friends, you know, and going from not a messed up body to like a messed up leg, you know, or a body, it kind of throws you for a loop, and you're like, well, what just happened, you know? How do I deal with this? Or, okay, there's that pain, you know, what's that pain doing, or where's that pain from? Or I wanted to escape that life and that world and get out of my head, and so I started. I was on a lot. I was on Dilaudid, Oxycontin, morphine. You know, I got that first stick of morphine. I got blown up, got that first stick. I didn't use drugs. You know, I never did that before. I was, you know, and so I got that first stick, and it felt great, and I wanted more, you know, because it took pain away. I was still in that phase. I wanted to go back and whatnot. So then I felt alone and ashamed and guilty, and then that's when I started. I was trying to, you know, kill myself, and, you know, by, you know, drinking a full thing of Jack Daniels and taking all my pills, and you know, I did that one night, and then woke up and I'm like, well, shit, all right, I'm still here, all right then. So nothing ever happened that way, and it just, yeah. I was a limb salvage for 10 years, 2005 to 2015, and my leg at the time, it was a drop foot. I lost the perineal nerve. It was just a dead leg, so it needed to come off for quality of life, and so we amputated that. And May 27, 2015, that's when I officially became a below the knee amputee, and I told my wife, it felt like a weight lifted off of me, you know. That was really the point. I wanted to try, and I needed to fix myself. And I could see the future. I could see what I could do with my kids, and that really kicked in and was like, hey, your dumbass has to change. You know, you gotta change. You gotta smarten up. Stop being so selfish or being an a-hole to everybody. And so I started slowly chipping away and changing those little things, and you know, just life came back into me, I think. You know, it shot air back in. And so in the beginning as a BK, I fell a lot. So I fell a lot on concrete without a socket on. The first day I got home from being below the knee, I thought I still had the leg. I woke up at like 4 in the morning, stepped out of bed, and I went, you know, flat on my face. When I did get the leg, it was trying to learn to walk, and then, I mean, I got 2 kids, they're running around like crazy, man. So I needed to get off my ass and do it. So I really learned how to walk as a BK with the lawnmowers, and then using shopping carts at the stores to like fine tune my stuff, my walking. And then, so I had it for 3 years, 2015 to 2018. And during those 3 years, I was beating the crap out of it, basically. I was still below the knee. July 19, 2018 is when I became an AK, but trying to learn to walk as an AK is hilarious. It's like a baby deer trying to get up and learn to walk. I was also approached by a buddy of mine, David. He asked if I wanted to go climb Kilimanjaro, and I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. And nothing ever happened of it. I became an AK, and that was one of the things I wanted to do, was climb that mountain, because why not prove it to yourself? Prove it to those imaginary thoughts, you know? But going up there, we started at daybreak, and my lower back started to go out, because when I was blown up and I got launched out of the turret, I landed and it broke my lower back. So I had to go down my hands and knees, and so I was climbing up Kilimanjaro a little bit on my hands and knees, and we got to about 18,000 feet, and I said I was done. At that first like 18,000 feet, I was done. I didn't want to go higher. I didn't want to do any more, you know. I was like, I already made 18. I don't need to make the 19 and and change. And that's when David came up to me, and he knows me, and he says, you're not a quitter. This is who you are. This is what is inside of you, you know, and don't ever quit, you know. I won't leave your side, and he never did. So him and I rocked up that rest of that 2.5 hours. So yeah, I wanted to quit a couple times, but I mean, we climbed Kilimanjaro, and we summited it and came down, and I proved my point. I proved that if life throws you stupid shit, you can still do it. You can go out and live your life, and you might have to work for it a little bit harder, but it's so doable. And you never know. Every day's different. Every day, you know, some days it gets thrown at you, some days it don't. And it's just life, right?